os. So we're going to talk about the 5 S's, and these are our responses when we find ourselves on the ground, particularly against a standing opponent or against an opponent who's on top of us. So we don't want to be in that situation if we can avoid it, particularly if there are multiple attackers. It can be quite a dangerous space. So the 5 S's are our responses. First thing we want to try is to stand. Okay, if we can stand and get back to our feet, always a better option for it, or usually a better option for us. If we can't stand because they're on top of us, we'll try to sweep. That will enable us to get on top. If we can't sweep, if that sweep is ineffective, it still is likely to create opportunities for us to submit. That's to choke, arm bar, put some sort of lock on this person. So they're the first 3, right? We've got our stand, sweep, and submit. Now the other 2 we use interchangeably all the way through this, and they are to scramble. So to scramble means to get up quicker than he can get up. So get up onto my elbows and my knees, my hands, and then my feet before he can do so. That'll get me higher. My head is higher than him. That gives me an advantage. And the other one is to strike. So a lot of people practice striking from stand up, practice grappling on the ground, but forget that it's really effective to strike on the ground as well. So that needs to be an integral part of the way we practice our ground fighting. So first thing is from here is to stand. So if I just try to stand up any old way, turn my back and stand up, I'm going to be in danger. If I just try to stand up like this, I'm going to be in danger. So I need to manage the distance a little bit. What I do from here is I'm going to use my bottom leg to push away and get some distance. I can even use strikes coming all the way up in the head over here to get some distance, to get him thinking, to get him hesitating in order to stand up. Let's have a look at that stand up. So from here I'm on my side, I've got my back hand on the ground, I've got my top hand between our bodies. So if he does come in to try to attack, then I've got some distance, but we've got something between us here that I can use to scan that. I'm going to stand up on my opposite hand and leg over here. If I try to do it on the same side, I won't have any balance. So I'll use the opposite side, and I can then kick or push, okay, or strike from here. And then I'm going to rotate that underneath, and around behind my hand back here so that I can stand up. That enables me to stand without ever showing him my back. Let's do that one more time. So from here, I'm scanning, pushing, and I circle that leg underneath in order to be able to stand up in a fighting stance. If there's no distance between our bodies, if he's on top of me, then I may not be able to do that. If he's in my guard position or between my legs, okay, first of all, let's do it from a standing position, but he's right on top of me. So he might be over here trying to punch me from this distance over here. This is a really bad position for me to be in. So from here I can try to do a sweep. Okay, so one of the sweeps that I might do is really simple. I just grab the ankles and I push down on the hips. I want to get more connection points than he's got. I might be able to grab. Better for me is if I'm on my side, because now it's harder for him to be able to hit me with this free hand. I've got control of one over here. I can grab that ankle, I can push on the belt, and I can cut away over here to sweep him as well. If he's even closer to me over here and striking in, then I can hide my head underneath his body, push with my legs, and then use my legs to start affecting a sweep to get to the top. We've got lots of options. If he's in my guard even closer and trying to strike me from this position, again, it's really important that I want to get him off balance straight away so that he can't effectively strike me, and then I can start to look for sweeps. That was a butterfly sweep there. Sorry, that was a scissor sweep there. I could go for a butterfly sweep as well. So from here, I could go for a grab over here. Okay, sweep him and take his back. I can just grab him over here and kick that out and sweep him down. Okay, so a lot of different options for sweeps in order to be able to affect him. If he's in my guard and he's trying to get his balance down, but he's standing up high, then I can go up with him, grab it, hip bump over, and use that sweep. So that all works really well if he's in my guard. We'll talk about if he's not in my guard in a moment. If I try a sweep, and it's not completely effective, what he's done over here is he's brought his hands away from his body. That gives me a couple of opportunities. First of all, it brings his hands away from his throat. So I can use that to start coming in for an attack over here or an attack over here. And I can start to use that opportunity to find a submission. Similarly, I can use a failed submission to find an opportunity to move back to a stand or a sweep. The other two things we talked about were our scrambling and our strikes. So from the bottom over here, if I'm on the ground, I do have legs. I can start kicking into the kidneys over here. I can push his hands down and start kicking into the head to center. I can start kneeing into the body, boom, to set up my sweeps. Okay, so I want to be thinking about my strikes to distract him and create opportunities to escape. And then the final thing is the scramble. So without him there initially, the scramble is, first of all, I want to be on my elbows. I want to be on my hands. I want to be on my knees or my feet quicker than he can. And that gives me a bit of an opportunity. If he's on top of me, in a let's just say a side control position or any sort of top position, it's a little harder for me to sweep here. Okay, from the technical definition of what a sweep is, but the concept is the same. I still need to get from the bottom to the top as quickly as I can. So I do have sweeps that I can use from this position, and I'm going to try to get the scramble to work with that to get up to a higher position. So from here I can bump him, scoot underneath, and I'm up to my elbows and knees as quickly as I can. Now from here, I can use that to effect a takedown. So now I'm on top, and then it's far easier for me to be able to stand up and escape, or to continue to engage and to get the advantage. Let's just have a look at that scramble one more time. From the side control position. So from here, I've got the hip, I've got the hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn into him and bump him to get a little bit of space. Then I come underneath and I come underneath his armpit as much as I can. From here, I grab that far leg and drive into him to bring that down. Okay, so those 5 S's are stand, sweep, submit, scramble, and strike. Awesome.